Yo, what's up with y'all boys and girls, man? Hey, it's Jay Briggs here, and welcome back to Picks from the DawgHouse NFL edition. Ladies and gentlemen, we made it. Week 1 is finally here. We're out of the dog days of summer, and I'm pumped up, excited, and ready to help you guys make some money this season betting NFL football. On this show, I bring in some of the best handicappers from across the internet, some of our guys from here at pickdawgz.com, and we let you guys know our thoughts and opinions on some of the biggest games on the board, man. So all we ask is that you smash the like button for us, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and buckle up and get ready for a long, profitable season of NFL betting. Let's do it, ladies and gentlemen. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Without further ado, let's hop right into this week's NFL action. I'm here with Ron the Don Romanelli. Talking some NFL football. Ron, what's happening? Week 1. I'm glad to have it.
We are back. Week 1. I'm excited. I think this is a tougher card from a betting perspective, and that's why, kind of a foreshadow of what I'm looking at for this week's show. It's not actually a game this week, but a season-long play. But I'm really excited for the NFL. Thursday, Friday, great action there. But now we're ready for Sunday's card and, of course, Monday Night Football.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. What are we talking about if we're ain't talking about a game this week?
Listen, this is a play that I gave it on the drive-through. I've mentioned it on the morning show a few times. I've told my friends, my family, it's a play that I'm shouting from the rooftops. It's my favorite season-long play, futures play, and win total. It's the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm focusing on the Chiefs this year. I think it's going to be a rough season for KC. I don't see how you get 12 wins from the Kansas City Chiefs this year. Total win totals at 11.5 right now. Some juice on the under, but I like that under. You look at this Chiefs first. You look at the Chiefs schedule. At the beginning of the season, there is not one gimme win the first 9-10 games of the year. You start in Brazil against the Chargers, a divisional matchup where KC, as you see, is just a reasonably smaller favorite, 3.5-point favorite. Then you play the Super Bowl rematch. It's at home, but the Eagles, arguably the best team in the league. You go into a primetime game, Sunday Night Football against the Giants. I think the Giants are vastly improved this year, a really good defensive line, defense in general. In a Sunday Night Football game like that is not a gimme win. You play the Ravens, you play the Jaguars on Monday Night Football. I think Jacksonville's vastly improved, another primetime situation. You play the Detroit Lions in another primetime game the next week. So a lot of these primetime games that we've seen over the years can go either way. A lot of underdogs have won these types of games outright in the past. You've got a division in the AFC West that's also, I think, improved. The Raiders, I don't think the Raiders are a great team, but I think they are improved this year. Denver Broncos, certainly a lot of expectations. The Chargers have improved defensively. You play a game in Buffalo, which I think you're going to be a pretty sizable dog in. You play the Commanders in a primetime game. I mean, you just go down this schedule. Your Dallas Cowboys on the road. I don't see how you get 12 wins. I honestly don't see how the Chiefs have a winning record this year. It's crazy to say out loud. It's not going to be the most popular take, but not only do I have Chiefs under 11.5 wins, I have them missing the postseason. You look at this roster, Patrick Mahomes coming off his worst Super Bowl performance by far. Look at his weapons, Xavier Worthy, Hollywood Brown, and Juju Smith-Schuster, his top 3 wide receivers, and Travis Kelce, aging Travis Kelce as a tight end. I mean, if this was 2020, it's a pretty good list, but I mean, Juju and Brown and Kelce have not really been relevant in quite a while. I know Rashee Rice will be returning at some point, we think, after suspension, but this offensive line is in bad shape. I don't think the weapons are there. I think this is the weakest skill position team that the Chiefs have had in a long time since Mahomes joined. I got to go under Chiefs. I am not big on the Chiefs this year.
Fair enough. From Ron the Don Romanelli. He genuinely feels this way. He's been telling me this all summer long, that he genuinely feels like the Chiefs fall off. Now, he got me in the Super Bowl when he said, Jay, I think this is a terrible matchup for the Chiefs in the Super Bowl against the Philadelphia Eagles. I was on the other side. So
the biggest bet of my career, folks.
Yeah. So, but I don't know, man. I think you're being a little harsh on a team that has been the modern dynasty recently. So we'll see. We'll see. Definitely one of the bolder takes that I've heard this offseason and heading into this NFL season. But there's a reason why you're one of the sharpest and one of the best in the business. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. This is the year that Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes, and company take a step back. It's week one NFL action, man. I know you didn't give us a free play here on this show for a game this week, but I know you probably will likely have one, a play that you're loving for week one action, and I know where to find it. Over at Pick Dawgz Premium. What you got going on over there, my man?
Yeah, you're right. Like I said, I tread lightly week one, but there's definitely a few plays that I've got my eyes on. And I think the best bet is to grab that season-long pass, college football, NFL dual season pass. Going to get you every single play in the regular season and the postseason, all the bowl games in college football. I also throw on my Canadian football plays if you guys are interested in that. But that's your best bet. Long-term is always the way to go, not, judge on 1 week or 2 weeks. If you get the whole season, you're getting all my action. I'm really ready to go here for the NFL campaign. And you got that free Chiefs win total under. That's a premium level selection. Last year I was big on the Bucks under. That didn't hit. That the Bucks still played well enough to make the postseason. So we'll see what happens with KC. But I am really feeling confident about a down year from Holmes and company.
On the dime, man. We appreciate you here on this show. We'll see you on the college football show and this show throughout the season, and of course on the rundown and on the channel all the time. Appreciate you, my man.
Sounds good, Jay.
See you soon. And I'm here with Jeremy Kahn here on the NFL show. Jeremy, we're here, man. We're out of the dog days of summer. I'm glad to finally have some NFL football here on the horizon. How we feeling about NFL, man?
Man, this slate looks so awesome to me today. We got, 7 games, I think, that's a field goal or less. We've got revenge games. It almost feels like quarterbacks were traded for each other when you look at Pittsburgh and the New York Jets. You've got marquee games of divisional opponents going at it, and even one of the biggest games on Sunday Night Football. Man, I can't wait for this, and I love this slate. I don't try to be one of those guys. I'll tell you if I think it's like, this is an okay slate, and I found a couple games, but there's a lot to like here today.
I think so too. Where are we heading to first, my man? What are we doing?
We're going to go down to Jacksonville and check out the Panthers and the Jags. And here's what I want to say about this, because I know everybody comes into a season when they're making their predictions, and you might be a little bit more bullish on a team. Maybe you're saying, hey, I think this team's going to take the next step and go to the playoffs, or they take the next step in the playoffs and go, to the Super Bowl or AFC, NFC Championship, whatever it may be. Carolina is my team this year that I think takes a huge step forward. A couple of things to look at. They're in a crappy division, first off. The Saints are going to be awful. We'll have to see what Atlanta looks like on the road. They're always good at home. Everybody's going to just pencil in Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay lost their offensive coordinator, and he just happens to be the Jacksonville coach. So a couple of things that I really like about this game. If you watch how Bryce Young performed down the stretch, I think Chuba Hubbard is one of the more underrated running backs, and he's super serviceable. And on top of that, I think Ted McMillan is a guy, I don't know that he's going to win Rookie of the Year, but I get some Puka vibes from him at times, and I think this guy's going to be special in this league. But I just like the way the Panthers played as a team down the stretch, and I think this is an interesting game where I'm not worried about Jacksonville's defense. On the flip side, I'll say this much. Jacksonville's new coach, great play designer, great offensive coordinator. We'll have to see how he is as a head coach. But I think there's definitely going to be some wrinkles for Jacksonville. Brian Thomas looks like this could be a breakout year for him. He's amazing. Jacksonville has 3 different running backs they can go to, weapons in the passing game, not only tight ends and wide receivers. The big question is, what does Trevor Lawrence look like? Is old Sunshine going to look like trash like he did last year? Or if you go back 2 years ago when everybody was putting him in the top 8 of QBs, we'll find out. There's 2 things I like in this game. I like the Panthers plus the points, first off. I don't think Jacksonville has any business being favored by 3.5 points over anybody. I don't care if it's home or on the road. And on the flip side, I think both of these teams are going to score. Loving Jacksonville's new head coach and the offense that he's going to put in, I think he's going to put Trevor Lawrence in the best possible situation to succeed, and that amounts to points. And again, on the flip side, if you watch Bryce Young down the stretch, he no longer looks like that kid with the big-ass backpack coming to training camp, and everybody's blasting, oh, my God, Carolina screwed up. You should have got C.J. Stroud. And maybe that's the correct response. But I don't think Bryce Young is some consolation prize. I think he's going to be a good quarterback in this league. So I like the over and the Panthers.
Fair enough. Are you worried about the 2 head coaches of both teams making their head coaching debut in this game?
No, it doesn't concern me as much. Like, again, for the simple fact that everybody wants to make a statement. And I feel like Jacksonville is going to come out and that offense is going to put their best foot forward. The fact that they're home, I understand why people are going to like them. They were the most heavily bet team this week. But with the Panthers, they needed some changes. They needed some things to happen in this new life, a new opportunity. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how they match up and how these coaches look, because as much as I like Jacksonville's coach as an offensive coordinator, again, we have to see him as the head coach. But when he did the Duval, like I was like, man, that ain't it. That ain't it at all.
I am in a small majority where I don't know if it's because it's been trolled so much. I actually like it. I actually like it. So we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Of course, I'm most excited about this game to see my guy Travis Hunter. See if he will really play both sides of the field. It's starting to sound more and more like it's going to happen. He's listed as the starting wide receiver and quarterback too. So
hey, he's a guy I didn't even bring up as a weapon that Jacksonville has when we were talking about everything. And by the way, I don't know that he can keep doing that. Like, it might be a nice little thing that he does for a while, kind of like when you remember Steve Smith Sr. was returning punts and he was one of the best punt returners in football. And he's just like, yeah, I'm going to make more money playing wide receiver. I ain't doing this unless it's a special occasion.
Fair. Yeah. We'll see. We'll see. I don't want to doubt my guy. I don't want to doubt the kid, but for the long-term health of his career, is it the best thing? Of course not. But do I think he'll try to prove a point and do it for a little bit? I do think so. And I think Jacksonville is the perfect team and opportunity to give him the chance to do so and do something special that hasn't really been done at the level I think he can do it in this league. So we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. That's the first game we're talking about. Not the sexiest teams, but all money spends the same. And hey, a lot of people don't have their eyes on Carolina, Jacksonville, but we will. We will. Where are we headed to next, my man?
The best game of the weekend. We're going up to Buffalo.
Talking about the big one. Okay.
So for people that don't know, I'm a sports talk radio host in Baltimore. This is my hometown team. I am not what some people would call a homer. I've said it multiple times. If my mom was in a fist fight and I like the other lady, I'm betting on her. Just hoping mom doesn't get beat up too much. I have no problem betting against the Ravens. I have no problem going against any of those teams in any facet of games. Like, there's no homerism here. This team has a chance to, I know the word generational has been thrown around a lot this past week. They have a chance to be just really, really good and special. I think they're going to be a top 3 offense and top 3 defense this year. I don't know that Lamar can repeat what he did last year when he should have won his 3rd MVP, but they gave it to the other guy in this game. Josh Allen had an amazing season. Lamar Jackson had the most amazing season I've ever seen from a quarterback. And I'm a Peyton Manning truther when it comes down to it. His efficiency was off the charts. He throws less than any other quarterback in the league. You've got Big 22 back there. And what we've been saying about Buffalo, if you watch Buffalo and Baltimore last year during the regular season, the Ravens ran roughshod over them. In the playoff game, neither one of them punted. The Bills really didn't do much. The Ravens kept turning the ball over, which was uncommon for them throughout the season. Derrick Henry is bigger than all the Bills linebackers. And I know Patrick Ricard, the fullback, is probably not going to play, but he's bigger than all their defensive linemen. So this could be an easy road grader where they're just running the football down their throat. But there was a big missing piece from last year's game, and that was Zay Flowers. And I went on 2 Buffalo radio stations this week, and they're very concerned about their secondary, their corner spots. I think Zay Flowers has a huge game. I think this is Baltimore's game to lose, honestly. And I'm surprised they're not favored. And I'm not trying to disrespect the Bills, but I think even seeing the small line that you have here for a home team that's been one of the best home teams in football, period, should tell you what Vegas thinks about Baltimore. I like the Ravens to go in there and handle business.
Fair enough, man. Ravens had a tough start to the season last year, started off 0-2.
Yeah.
They had the toenail loss on the first game of the season against the Chiefs. And then week 2, you guys had
They blew a 10-point lead against the Raiders.
Yeah, one of the most head-scratching losses of the entire season against the Raiders. They did figure it out and got their shit together and, proved to be who a lot of people thought they were. There's a lot of hype surrounding Baltimore this year. I think of everybody that I talked to, Baltimore is by far the favorite to win the Super Bowl from my nexus of people that I've talked to.
Jay, if you look at this team, they got 5 first-round picks in their secondary. Kyle Hamilton might be the best defensive player in football, and I don't know how many people know his name as an everyday player. He just does everything. The 2 guys that they drafted, getting getting the safety out of Georgia, bringing him in, and they're going to start him right away. And oh, by the way, the guy they got in the second round, Mike Green, he has wowed everybody at camp. They've actually tried to hold him back so more people aren't talking about him. They got themselves a premier pass rusher, one of the best defensive lines in football. It's on them. Like, if they don't win the Super Bowl this year and they don't have a ton of injuries, I think you got to start looking at the head coach and ask yourself, what the hell's going on with this team when it comes to the postseason? Because this is, to me, on paper, and the game's not played on paper, the best team in football.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Josh Allen trying to recreate some of the magic he did last season when he was the MVP of the league. A lot of people thought it should have been Lamar Jackson. I thought it was splitting hairs, just like it was the year before when Lamar stole it from Dak. But
oh man, yeah, go ahead, man. Sorry.
No, you're good, man. You're good. I'm excited for this week, man. I'm excited for all football action this weekend. I'm glad to have it back. Glad to be out of the dog days of summer, and I'm ready to sit back and watch some football and hopefully beat the books up this weekend, my man. I know you're trying to do the exact same. Money-making weekend on the horizon. I know where to find your favorite plays over at Pick Dawgz Premium. What you got over at Pick Dawgz Premium this weekend, my man?
Yeah, man, I love this slate, and I don't throw that word around loosely. I have my concrete best bet, this is something I've done for all my years in radio. I've had one losing season doing it. It's my favorite play in the NFL every week. So that's up. I do have a couple of packages up, and there's some lines that I think people are misreading. So I couldn't be more excited. Definitely check out the premium plays. Been a nice week for me, and I plan on capitalizing on it over the weekend.
Jeremy, it's an honor to have you here on this show, my man. We look to have you here on this show throughout the year, college football show. And of course, we have you on the morning show. You have the lowdown, man. We appreciate your contributions here at Pick Dawgz. And we just look to continue to try to beat up the books, man, and help everybody betters.
Yeah, man, I love being a part of this family. I was a little hesitant at first, and once I got in and met everyone, it's like, yeah, I'm going to fit right in here with the ball busting that goes on and the sharp capper. So looking forward to it.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you, Jeremy. I got my guy here, Brad Wins Bets. Brad, week 1 NFL action. We made it out of the dog days of summer. How you feeling, my man?
I'm feeling good. Yeah, we officially made it out. Like, it's here. We're in the thick of it. And yeah, I'm ready to break down some games, ready to win some money with you guys.
Let's do it, my man. Let's do it. Where are we heading to first?
We are headed to Indianapolis, where we got the Miami Dolphins and the Colts going at it. You know, two teams that a lot of people really aren't high on, but one team I'm not high on at all is the Colts. I think they're going to be a fade for me all season long. I just don't really think they have an identity. Like, I think Jonathan Taylor is a great player. Don't get me wrong, but with them going to Daniel Jones at QB, I just don't trust this team to move the ball consistently. On the other hand, everyone's talking shit about the Dolphins. Let's be real. And yes, there's questions about Tyreek Hill. He's going crazy. He is. A-Chain's a little bit banged up. You never know if Tua is going to be sleeping on the field. But look, for this first game, everyone's going to be playing. Everyone's going to be playing. And when you look at this team from a roster perspective, you can't say it's not one of the more electric offenses in the league. I also think it's do or die for Mike McDaniel. Like, if it doesn't work this season, he's gone. He's gone. They're going to have to start looking at something else. So I think this is a big season for the Dolphins. I think everyone's counting them out. And in that type of situation, I think we hop on them for this first game. I think this is a game where the Dolphins will be able to move the ball with all the weapons they have. And I just don't really trust Daniel Jones to be able to keep up. So keep the point and a half, whatever it is. Give me the Fins and give me them on the money line.
Brad taking the Fins, fading Danny Dimes. I get it, man. Yeah, everybody knows my beef with Daniel Jones. I love playing a good Daniel Jones INT. I'm probably gonna play it on Sunday, of course. But this overall talent of this Colts roster, like, I think the only thing they're missing is a quarterback. And there's something in me that believes that Daniel Jones is kind of going to have a Sam Darnold season. You know, we saw Sam Darnold last year with Minnesota come out and kind of rejuvenate his career and then go get a bag in Seattle. This is a good team in Indy. This is a solid coaching staff, pretty much coaching for their jobs. That's why they bench AR. Would it be crazy to say Daniel Jones has a bounce back year and the Colts are good?
I mean, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't say it's crazy. It's week one. Like we don't know, and there's a reason why the Colts did take Daniel Jones over Ant. So, I mean, they saw something. So, no, that's totally a fair point. But he's gonna have to show me, Jay. He's gonna have to show me. I know what Tua, Waddle, and Tyree could do. I've seen it. So
I have to.
Yeah.
I get it. And it's a tough game. That's why this line is sitting minus 110 on the money line, both sides. So,
and we were talking about it before the game. It does kind of scare me out. This is probably the public dog of the weekend. And yeah, usually those don't go too well. So I'm kind of being a devil's advocate to myself here in my play, but these are things that I do think about. Probably a reason why it wouldn't be a premium, but I still like the Fins.
Let's do it. Let's see if the Fins are able to pull it off for you on Sunday. Man, Brad, we got a crazy weekend ahead, man. We got NFL and college football from now all weekend till Monday night. So, man, loaded football weekend headed ahead. I know where to find your favorite plays, the plays you do love the most, the plays you have the most money on. You can find them over at Pick Dawgz Premium. What you got going on this weekend, my man?
Yeah, so when's this going to drop, Jay? Is this Friday?
Yes, sir.
All right, yeah. So I will have a play in that Chiefs-Chargers game, and then I will have a play in college football as well. So I have my best pick in both of those. That's probably how it's going to be all weekend long. Like you'll be able to find my best pick in CFB and my best pick in the NFL for the rest of the football season. So go check that out. And then, of course, I'll probably have a 3 or 5 pack up for sale, but always the long-term passes are the way to go. I say hop on a week, try me out, and I'll make you some bread. Team me up with Jay as well, and yeah, we'll get you paid.
Let's do it. Hop on with Brad Wins Bets. His name's that for a reason. He wins them. Hop on with my guy. Continue to kick the crap out of the books. Brad, appreciate having you here on the NFL show. See you on the college football show. And, of course, we'll see your face all over the Pick Dawgz YouTube channel.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it, man.
Yes, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, we made it. Week 1, NFL action. I'm pumped up, excited. What a football weekend we have. We're out of the dog days of summer. And I got Ashley here with me to help us break down a couple games. Ashley, how you feeling?
It was a long off season, but I'm locked and loaded, ready to go. Obviously, we have our picks ready. All the fantasy drafts are locked in. Got my guillotine team locked in. All the survivor pools. I mean, I'm in it. So NFL week 1, ready to go.
Let's do it. Where are we heading to first here in the NFL this week?
We're talking Dolphins and Colts here for the first game. It's currently, I've seen the line move a little bit, but as I see it now, the Dolphins are 1.5 road dogs here. You know, both these teams coming off very lackluster seasons. They both wrapped up 2024 8-9. Neither of them really have huge expectations heading into this season either. They both had similar stories last year, a lot of quarterback injuries, but obviously the big story heading into this season will be Daniel Jones making his debut for the Colts. You know, Indy, they have a mid-tier offensive line. I would say that's definitely a step up from what he had with the Giants last season. So he'll have that to work with. He definitely has some good talent offensively too. He has Michael Pittman, Josh Downs. So I think this game in particular will be a really good litmus test to see how successful Daniel Jones can be with the Colts. Miami does have some big question marks in their secondary. Jalen Ramsey's gone. Kendall Fuller's gone. All that said, though, it doesn't necessarily mean that I'm big on the Colts here. Indy has lost 10 of their last 11 season openers, only covered 2 of them. And frankly, I just think this Miami offense has way more talent. They did start slow last year. Granted, you know, they lost 6 of their first 8, but they did turn it around down the stretch. They won 6 of their last 9. And of course, in the beginning, when they lost a lot of their games, they were without Tua for that stretch. But once he came back, they averaged over 26 points a game. So the offense did turn it around. That was even with Tyreek having a subpar season. He's expected to be better and to bounce back this year. So I do think the pressure definitely lives with the Colts and Daniel Jones to keep up offensively. We all know Miami's going to have a good rush game, or a decent rush game at least. So Daniel Jones is definitely going to have to operate under some pressure here. So but I'm going to have to believe or see before I believe here with the Colts. So I'm going to ride with the Dolphins on the money line on this one.
Ashley taking Miami in Indy. This is a tough game. The thing is I've been Daniel Jones's biggest hater over the past 2 to 3 years. Like every Sunday, one of my top bets is a Daniel Jones interception. So,
yep.
See him leaving New York was a sad moment for me. Just being able to lose such profitable betting. Getting him here in Indy, I think Indy has a really good roster. That's what makes it tough. In Miami, they had a lot of off-season issues that I think kind of are being swept under the rug. A key stat that I think you nailed was Indianapolis's struggles in week 1. And one thing we know about the NFL, history really likes to repeat itself. I think it's, of all sports, it's probably the sport where history matters most. So I think the line's right where it's supposed to be for good reason, even on the money line, -110, -110. I could make an argument going either way. It's going to be a tough one. I think you broke this one down fairly eloquently, though. And
yeah, I feel like, the Dolphins have had a variety of injuries the last couple of years. I do believe Mike McDaniel is in the hot seat, so the pressure will be on to perform this year. Yeah, healthy Tua. Supposedly the Tyreek and Tua beef is no longer. I mean, that's what they say. Obviously, that's going to be the PR answer. Achane is well poised to have a good season, so we'll see. But I don't believe in this Colts team quite yet.
Fair enough, and for good reasons. Daniel Jones is their quarterback. Does he have a Sam Darnold style year, though? That kind of is in the back of my head, Many weren't high on Sam before he went to Minnesota. He turned it around. Can Danny Dimes do the same? He was, a 4th overall pick?
To your point, the Colts do have some weapons. Like I mentioned, Pittman's great. Downs is great. They have a better O-line. So there won't be any more excuses. That's for sure. If he continues to suck, no more excuses. A lot of Giants fans were saying it was the supporting staff, but he has a good enough team around him to where now the pressure's on his shoulders.
I agree. It's a game I will for sure be intrigued on this coming Sunday. What we got next here on the slate?
We're talking the huge matchup in the NFC North, Lions and Packers. Honestly, probably one of the top games I'm most excited for on the slate, that and the Sunday night game between Baltimore and Buffalo. But I'm really excited to watch this one. Honestly, this line shocked me heading into this one. I know there's been a ton of hype on the Packers heading into this season, but to see Detroit entering this one as underdogs, I mean, not much has changed with their teams, at least player-wise. I think the big story there is they did lose their offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator. But, I mean, Detroit had that massive season last year. They did choke against Washington in the playoffs, but they wrapped up the season 15-2 straight up, 12-6 against the spread. They have one of, if not the highest powered offenses in the league. They dominated the NFC North. They went undefeated in those 6 games, 4-2 against the spread in those 6. Their biggest weakness for sure is their defense. I mean, we know that. But to be fair, they were absolutely wrecked with injuries heading down the stretch last season. So that's something to take into consideration. It seems like the story that everyone's talking about is how Green Bay's defensive line has gotten better, especially now with Parsons in the mix. But let's not forget that Detroit is going to have Aiden Hutchinson back now, too. That is a huge difference maker for them. He was leading as the favorite to win Defensive Player of the Year before he got hurt back in week 6. And also let's point out that those 2 games against the Packers last season came after week 6. So they still lost even without having to face Hutchinson there. So I do think Parsons is going to elevate this defense for sure. No question. I'm sure you'll probably agree to that. But I mean, we don't even know how many snaps he's going to see here in week 1. There's a lot of questions around this back injury that he is dealing with. So I'm not a Jordan Love hater. I do think the Packers are going to be solid this year. I think they're only going to improve on both sides of the ball, but I'm just not fully sold that this Detroit team is heading into the season any worse than they were last year. So for the Packers to be almost 3-point favorites in this one, I got to take the Lions. I'm going to take the Lions with the points.
Fair enough. Betting division dogs has been really profitable over the past couple seasons, especially early in seasons. A lot of hype around this Packers team this year. A lot of hype, and for good reason. I think another year of Jordan Love. I understand that their head coach has proven that he's been one of the best since arriving in Green Bay. Of course, now acquiring Parsons, but like you said, with his injuries, Detroit's also still a really good team as well. And I'm with you. I think Detroit. This is a tough division this year. If I had to put my money on a team in this division, it would probably be on the Detroit Lions to win it. I know they were the number 1 seed last year. Can you expect them to roll all that over again this year in a sport that has the most turnover than any other sport? It's kind of tough to just say the Lions are going to do this again. So I get why people are high on the Packers this year and expecting them to surpass the Lions, but like you said, that hype in week 1 might just be a little too much to pass up on the value on Detroit.
Yeah, and this wasn't my official pick, but I'm also high on the over in this game too. I think both of these offenses are going to be strong. Their defenses are kind of where the questions are. So I would go over 47.5 unofficially, but just throwing that out there.
There we go. We just broke down 2 games from NFL Week 1 action. I'm excited, man. Of course, we're recording this on Thursday before my Cowboys game starts, so I don't know what ends up happening tonight. I know some of you may be watching this after the results of that game. So
I think Jay's drinking the Kool-Aid on that one a little bit, but we'll see what happens tonight.
I'm definitely drinking a little of the Kool-Aid, but I genuinely deep down wholeheartedly believe what is going to happen tonight is going to happen. So we shall see how it plays out, man. We're here, Ashley. We made it. Week 1 NFL. We got a long season on the horizon. Hopefully, and I'm pretty sure with the cast we have here, man, we're ready to have a profitable NFL season. What do you have over at Pick Dawgz Premium going on this weekend with a loaded college football and NFL weekend ahead?
Yeah, absolutely. So you can head on over to my premium packages to grab my best bet of the day for both college football Saturday as well as NFL Sunday. I'll have a few 3-packs there as well if you want to get on multiple games of action. If you prefer the longer term option, I have a week, a month, a year option, or if you're all in on football, you can get my dual season pass, get every single pick for college and NFL all the way through playoffs. Make sure you use the code PICK for 15% off. You'll get a great deal. Again, every single pick, you can't beat it. So we're planning on having a very profitable season, and I can't wait to get into it. So check it out.
Check it out. Ashley, thank you for coming on this week. See you on the College Football Show. And, of course, throughout the week on Ashley's Edge. Appreciate you more than you know. We'll see you throughout the season.
Thanks, Jay. Good luck tonight.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm here with my guy, Brian Bittler. Week 1 NFL action. Brian, we made it. We're out of the dog days of summer. How you feeling, my man?
Definitely excited to get this NFL season underway. You know, I prefer college football, but NFL definitely a close second. And, it's always rough over the summertime when you're playing CFL, WNBA, and Major League Baseball. You know, these are the type of this is the time of the year we really have to take advantage of the sports books, and definitely a lot out there to take advantage of here on this card.
Well, yes, sir. I'm ready to do it. What are we looking at for Week 1 NFL action?
For what I got is my best free pick on the board in the NFL action here. We got the New York Jets for me. Sure, this Jets team is a New York team, but they haven't done anything since the Joe Namath days. You know, Steelers, though, one of the most popular teams in the NFL. They're often overbet, and I believe overpriced here. And I just don't think Aaron Rodgers has anything left in that tank. We saw the decline with him with the New York Jets, and this team facing off with him. They'd like nothing more than to smush him here in this first game of the season. Justin Fields gets to show what he can do, and he's definitely a tremendous athlete. And I think we're going to see his dual threat abilities really pick apart this Pittsburgh defense. Definitely vaunted Pittsburgh defense, but I think with Fields' ability, he's going to be able to exploit him here. Jets revenge from last year's woodshedding. as they took a beating from the Steelers. I'm going to take the New York Jets plus the points at home, plus sprinkle a little bit on the money line.
Fair enough. These two teams flopped quarterbacks over the offseason. Rodgers was with the Jets. Fields was with the Steelers. Man, there's some hype surrounding Pittsburgh coming into this year. The Jets, I wouldn't call it hype. I just would call it, a normal Jets season. Of course, the Jets' new head coach, new coordinators, new quarterback. I'm higher on Pittsburgh this year than probably most, but in a week one setting, not really knowing what to expect from New York, you might be onto something here. The Jets might be in a sneaky little home, pull some shit out their ass style spot.
I think Pittsburgh's biggest advantage is the head coach with Mike Tomlin. I think for me, that's their only advantage out there. But we're going to see how it plays out in the field. I think those Jets fans are going to be crazed. So I think that'll play into it.
Fair enough. Brian says, "Oh man, Rodgers should have sat down."
Jets, Jets. That's where I'm going. I used to get made fun of when I picked the Jets. Not this year.
Fair enough. We'll see if the Jets come through for their bettors this weekend. I know there's some plays you love more so than the Jets this weekend, and I know where to find them over at Pick Dawgz Premium. What you got at Pick Dawgz Premium this weekend, my man?
Well, last season, the NFL, not my best season, but that means I'm primed to break out this year for a huge year. You want to get with me from the first game forward. Pick up my titanium play in the NFL on Sunday, just $25 at pickdawgz.com, or maybe get that all-access football pass, $8.95. Gets you every single NFL and college football play I've put out all year long. Use code PICK at checkout, save an additional 15% off. Definitely the way to go if you want to save some big bucks.
Brian B., appreciate you having you on this show. We'll see you on the college football show and this show throughout the season. And, of course, right here on the YouTube channel throughout the week. You've been dominating football over the past couple seasons, man. The folks should continue to rock with you. We'll see you then. Appreciate you, my man.
Thanks for having me, Jay. Appreciate it.
Sir. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get her done. I'll be breaking down 2 NFL games for you on this show this week. The first one we're going to talk about, we got the Arizona Cardinals out on the road facing the New Orleans Saints. Saints 6.5-point home dogs in this one, total 43.5. I'm somebody who usually tells you the line tells you a lot of what you need to know, and I think this is a game where that's the case. The Saints, a team that in recent memory we've thought of having, one of the best home venues in the NFL, tough place to go in and win, tough place to go in and play, let alone lay points. But I think the line here, again, tells you everything you need to know. The Saints coming into the season are slated to be the worst team in the NFL. They don't have talent. They don't have a lot of talent down in New Orleans this season. The reason they don't have a lot of talent, over the past couple seasons, this team has been heavily over the cap. It's finally caught up to them. You feel me? So that's what happened to the New Orleans Saints. They have a new head coach, Kellen Moore, formerly in Dallas. He was the OC there for a while. Then he went to Philadelphia, won a Super Bowl with the Eagles last year. Now the head coach of New Orleans. His starting quarterback will be Spencer Rattler. Rattler started, 6 games last season for New Orleans. New Orleans lost all 6 of those football games. New Orleans is slated to be the worst team in the NFL for good reason. Really young quarterback with not a lot of experience, no winning experience, young head coach. While he does have winning experience, many question how much control he had of the offense in Dallas, and many question how much control of the offense he had in Philadelphia. We'll see if, he's able to show the offensive mind he is down here in New Orleans. On the other side of the ball, the Arizona Cardinals, man, this is a team I personally have been high on over the past couple seasons, probably a little too high. And I'm kind of getting those same feelings coming into this season. I like this Arizona Cardinals team. I think they'll be able to run the football. I'm way higher on Kyler Murray than the general masses. Marvin Harrison bulked up this summer. We'll see if he has a bounce back sophomore season. Trey McBride, I'm expecting to have a really breakout season from the tight end position. I think this Cardinals defense will be improved. And again, I think this is a game where the line tells you what you need to know. I think the Cardinals are head and shoulders better than New Orleans Saints, man for man, player for player, roster for roster. Arizona is head and shoulders the better football team, and I think they come in here and kick the crap out of New Orleans. Again, New Orleans is not a tough place to play. New Orleans is a tough place to play, and it's definitely a tough place to lay this amount of points. And when you think about Arizona, you don't typically think about lay a touchdown on the road style team. But here in week 1 of a season, again, I think the line tells you what you need to know. New Orleans will be that bad this season, and the Cardinals right now at the start of the season are my favorite, not only to compete in the division, but I would have them to win the NFC West this year. So that's my thoughts here on our first game that I'll be talking about on the NFL show. We keep it rolling. The next one I'll be talking about, we got the Las Vegas Raiders out on the road facing the New England Patriots. Patriots 2.5-point home favorites, total 43.5. Patriots have a lot of hype on them heading into this season. They acquired a new head coach over the offseason. Mike Vrabel is now their head coach. A lot of people are really high on Drake May. They got guys like Stephon Diggs now over there. Got Drake May some weapons, shored up that offensive line, adding guys like Will Campbell from the NFL draft. A lot of people, it's still the Patriots, so many people think their defense is still going to be stout. Vrabel, a defensive coach. A lot of people are high on this New England Patriots team, and I get it. I definitely get it. On the other side, the Las Vegas Raiders, they got a new head coach. Pete Carroll, new head coach for them, new quarterback for them. Geno Smith came over with Pete Carroll. They drafted Ashton Jeanty high in the draft. He led college football in rushing last season, finished second in Heisman behind Travis Hunter. And, the Raiders made a couple of other huge moves over the offseason. I like the Raiders plus the points and outright money line in this one. I think the Raiders are the team that improved more. I think the Patriots are a little too hype for me and my liking. Remember, heading into last season, the Patriots were slated to be the worst team in the NFL. And while they have had coaching and roster turnover in that year span, I don't think it's enough. I think the hype is outweighing how actually good the Patriots are. Man for man, player for player, roster for roster. I think the Raiders are the better football team. What makes me nervous about this game is the Geno Smith dome and outside stat. Geno in a dome, money. Geno outside, he's trash. So that is what makes me nervous in a game like this. But I do think the Raiders will be able to run the football with Ashton Jeanty, kind of take some of the pressure off of Geno. And I'm interested to see what the Patriots look like under Mike Vrabel. I like the Raiders here. Again, I just think they're the better team. I think they have a better game plan. I think they have the more talented players. And I think the Patriots are slightly overrated and overvalued heading into this NFL season. For the last game I'll talk about, I like the Las Vegas Raiders plus the points and outright money line. And that's going to conclude Picks from the DawgHouse NFL edition. Week 1, ladies and gentlemen, we made it. And we just went over some of the biggest games from week 1's action. We appreciate each and every one of you that continue to tune in, watch these shows and episodes and everything we do here at Pick Dawgz. All we ask is that you smash the like button for us. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We're active on Instagram and Twitter. The links for both of those are in the description below. And of course, our favorite plays, our premium plays are over at the site. Link for that in the description as well. Check out everything we got here at Pick Dawgz, man. Check out our website. And we'll see y'all here on this show next weekend, man. It's been your guy, Jay Briggs. I'm out of here. Peace.